Food isn't just about taste, it is more about the story behind that. It's so good to be back to Sydney after a long break. As a fan of Australia's culinary scene, great seasonal produce, and amazing wine, I was always intrigued to discover how immigrant communities have shaped the food scenes in Australia. Luckily, my good friend Jackie M is giving me an insider's tour. She is going to take me to visit Sydney's Chinese and Asian communities, such as Haymarket, Cabramatta, Eastwood, and Burwood. And on my last day at the chef table, Jackie introduced me to chefs who blend their heritage with local ingredients to create one-of-a-kind dishes. Let the feast begin. I find myself in Sydney's fish market, renowned as one of the largest wholesale seafood markets in Southern Australia, where amazing variety of fresh fish, shellfish, and other exotic aquatic delights await exploration.
6 o'clock last night,
Yeah.
the trucks start arriving from the airport and from around the country, and the auction floor starts to get filled up with the fresh seafood that's being delivered into the market. So as you can see, that there are areas A, B, C, D, E, live and sashimi.
Yeah.
And so the auctioneers will lay all the seafood out, and the buyers start arriving at about 3:30 in the morning, and they'll walk up and down these rows to identify the bins of fish that they want to purchase or they'd like to bid on.
Look at the freshness of all of the seafood. Seafood, big and small. So John and Chef Kai, you're the chef, you're the fish expert. I remember 20, 30 years ago when I come over here, you don't see the variety.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the influence from all of the different communities, all of the different cultures that have come to and lived in Australia, that live in Australia now, have really enhanced our culinary options and opportunities. And so, certainly in my industry, it's seafood, where many years ago, something such as these blood cockles would never have even been harvested. But now they're very popular with the Vietnamese.
Chinese and Vietnamese loved it. They eat it raw. They eat it raw.
That's
They eat it raw.
So that's an example of how the influence of all these different cultures.
So Chef Kai, what do we have here?
So we just been given a beautiful Spencer Gulf kingfish, which we're going to cook up.
Let's take a look at how fresh this is, okay? Look at that. Chef Kai, you're going to prepare this for us. We're going to enjoy this. Let us go to Chef Kai's restaurant right now.
Chef Kai's table feast hosted by German immigrant chef Kai and his lovely Thai wife, Pavitra. There I learned about each guest's personal journey that led them to call Sydney home. But it is clear that through food, we're all united in sharing our diverse cultural experience. Bon appetit, friends.
Hi guys, welcome to By Kai. I'm Kai, I'm a chef, I'm a food stylist, and I'm the owner of By Kai. And tonight I welcome you to my chef's table.
Wow.
Right guys, here we go. This is called mussels on the beach. Mussels themselves come from Jervis Bay, which is like a 4-hour drive south. And I encourage you just to dig in with a beautiful, beautiful French bread.
Becky and myself welcome all of you to Chinatown, Sydney.
The sights and smells immediately transport me back to home. But as Jackie explained, this bustling neighborhood represents so much more than just Chinese heritage. It's a gathering place where communities from across Asia come together and share their cultural and culinary traditions.
I actually used to be an IT consultant, and then I worked in Sydney and then in London, came back here and decided Look, my parents used to sell street food in Malaysia.
Oh,
So they
really?
used to be hawkers in Malaysia. Very
Tradition.
poor, yeah. When I came back from England, I gave up my IT career and opened a restaurant. You know, I did a few things. I did like catering first, I did markets, I did festivals, and then eventually I opened my restaurant because of popular demand.
You see people from all over Asia, not just the Chinatown, Chinese Chinatown anymore, but a town, it's a community for the entire Asian nation.
I came with my parents as part of what was called the family reunion visa, and what they were able to do was that my parents were able to come to Australia because my older brothers and sisters had come here back in the 70s to study. Back at the time where and they stayed on, and they all settled down here after they got their degrees and worked here professionally. And then my parents were getting quite elderly, so there's a special visa back then where you can bring in your parents to come to Australia to join you, to reunite your family.
Reunion, humanitarian. This is very important because people in Asia, they like to have the whole family stick together and live together and work together. This is a very Asian.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think it's a good visa. You know, you bring the family together.
Actually, my story is similar.
Yeah.
You know, I went to school in the U.S.
Yeah.
And then when I was able to support my family, I bring my brother and I bring my mother to come. So this way, this is a typical immigrant story.
Exactly. I think that's really cool, actually.
Malaysian immigrants here in Australia, they feel like they came for better opportunities. To me, Malaysia was my land of opportunity. And I felt I was being yanked out of that from, in my last year of school to go to a land where I didn't particularly want to come to, where it was so controversial at that time about, that my sister had to write me a letter before the days of the internet and say, I just got to warn you, when you arrive at the airport, there might be television reporters asking you what you thought about not being welcome in your new home country. So I was so angry for so many years, and I thought, first thing I do when I grow up and have the means, I'm going to move overseas to England. Such a big mistake. And when I came to Australia in 1984, you couldn't get that kind of like good quality Malaysian street food. Eventually, I got frustrated. And when I came back from England in 2001, I just decided that IT thing, let's forget about it and let's just start over and just dive into food. So that's basically where I've ended up, essentially.
So this is our twist on a classical Italian dish called vitello tonato.
I meet up with a group of Eastwood parents in Chinatown. Over a home-cooked dinner, I show them my secret weapon using Vegemite in salad dressings.
Eat plant-based product，啱唔啱啊 ？plant-based product， 之後咧 vegetarian， 因為咧，然後咧你就攞呢個喺呢度筆些少，睇住下，我然後咧就咁，你睇下，咁咧我呢個咧係 Sydney Australia fruit salad， look at that 幾靚。
It proves how immigrants put Aussie twist on traditions. The success of blending flavors and culture is truly an inspiration.
Yeah, well, I came to Australia in 1986. My first visit, I was probably just 19, maybe 20 years old. I was on the QE2 as a young chef, and I came to Australia for a few days, and I fell in love with the place. I said to my girlfriend, who's my wife now, I said, there's this place called Australia where the sun shines every day, and everyone says, good day, mate, and no worries. And so we've got to go back. And so we packed our bags and we came back in 1988, and I've been here for 36 years now. It's still a beautiful city with beautiful people and great food and produce. Yorkshire's a great county, a great part of England. It's a beautiful part of the world, but I just didn't think I was made for Yorkshire. I was made for bigger and better things, and I think they accept flamboyancy and more avant-garde cooks over here than they do back in Yorkshire.
Now we're in Burwood, the new Chinese community for young Sydney-siders. The street food here is like nothing I've ever tasted. This dish, sign me up. It's great to see tradition adapting to new tastes.
Back in 2001, I had an English girlfriend in New York, and she and her Canadian girlfriend were already planning to come. And then we had just gotten together about 6 months before, and we're kind of madly in love. And I was like, I never went traveling around the world like I always wanted to after college.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna chuck in my IT job, tried to pursue being a food journalist once I came over here. There's always that question about going back home. I always actually feel I feel guilty actually about being away from family for so long. I only get to see my mom once a year. It's probably the hardest part about being in Australia, because I love living here. I love my lifestyle here. I love the people. Being this far away from family, it's always a challenging thing, and it's hard to find that balance.
Okay, guys, here we go. That's our next course. And this is beautiful Spencer Gulf kingfish.
Now we're off to Cabramatta, the heart of Sydney's Vietnamese community. I'm excited to get hands-on in the kitchen of Pho Anna, helping to roll out fresh Vietnamese pancakes. Over a steaming bowl of pho, owner Anna shared her family story of building a new life down under.
Hello. So, Jackie, are you curious? I can smell the broth. And maybe she asked Anna how long she took or she take every day to prepare this rich broth.
The broth is the most important. Took me more than 15 hours. Minimum is 15 hours. And also have to cook overnight.
This is probably also the world's most famous noodle soup.
I used to be a farmer in my country, but I come here, go to work at a restaurant, and for a long time I learned.
Learn and learn and learn, then you learn how to be a good cook. Now you're the boss. Now, let's taste Chef Anna's secret broth, 15 to 18 hours.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Almost, Jackie, I almost guarantee you and me and Anna, this would be the best beef pho I have ever tasted. You know why? Because you got all of these fresh herbs and spices you grow right here locally, and you take time painstakingly, 15 to 18 hours to make this broth. But on top of that, you know what? The best Australian beef. That's the key. Just don't talk too much and eat and enjoy. Because if we don't eat this, it's not, I'm not giving true respect to Chef Anna. So this is good. Oh.
But the food tour isn't over yet. The fresh fruit and seafood markets are a sensory explosion. I can't go past sampling an authentic banh mi, packed with local ingredients. The flavors of Vietnam and Australia fused together so beautifully.
Well, I was fortunate. Unlike most children raised in the family and taken care of by the parent and grandparent, I left home when I was 13 by myself. Left and went to Hong Kong. During the time that I was growing up, there's nothing to eat. Everything is rationed. So my mom always tell me, every night we go to bed hungry. Nothing is. So my mom always around. When you get a chance, make sure, no matter where you go, make sure you stick around food. I'm quite sure everybody knows that Asian love seafood. There is no better place to have the cleanest, the best quality, the variety seafood as Australia. We went to the fish market the other day, and I was so overwhelmed with emotion because I love seafood so much. And I feel so safe being a foodie that I know that whatever I taste is going to be fresh, with seasoned, farm to fork. And today is farm to chopstick.
Durian, the word of a special event at a Malaysian restaurant in Sydney's Macquarie Park, starring everyone's favorite thorny fruit that has spread far and wide. Jackie and I arrived to a packed house, bustling in anticipation. First, we were filled up on a banquet of durian-infused delights, but everyone knew the real star of the show was still yet to come. As the main event began, a stunning spread appeared before us. Towering piles of priced Musan King and Holord were served along with XO durian. This was a durian lover's fantasy feast. With restraint thrown to the wind, guests dug into their heart's content. Between every enthusiastic bite, I chat with guests who had traveled for hours just to enjoy the unique celebration of their beloved fruit, durian, the king of fruit in Asia.
I came to Australia for a very different reason. My parents divorced a long, long time ago, and my dad migrated to Australia, and I hadn't seen him for many years. And I was born on my dad's birthday, so we have this special connection. I had a lot of questions to ask because I was quite young when this happened, and then he went away and he lives on the other side of the world. So I went to the High Commission and I said I would like to come to Australia, maybe for 12 months, like a working holiday as a German citizen. I couldn't come to Australia for a working holiday. And I said, well, what are my options? And they said, well, you can go on holiday. And I said, that's not an option because that's too far away. It's going to be too expensive. They said, well, the other option is you can apply for permanent resident. And I said, great, that's what I'll do. And 30 years later, I'm still here. All right, guys, here we go. So this is our signature salad. This is Pavitra's masterpiece. It's a rice noodle salad, oriental herbs, and a homemade tamarind dressing with our smoked trout.
I came here 2004, like to study English, and I just have to be in the country, that English-speaking country. And I choose Australia because not far from Thailand, and I just study like everybody else, like study and work. And then I met Kai, and then because he always like cooking and like, you know, and I love cooking too. And I always tell Kai that I would like to have the market stall. I would like to do something with my food. Like, I'm not a chef, but I love cooking. All my family who cook very, very well.
Great cooks.
Yes, and my food is like kind of more kind of regional cooking because my hometown is northeast of Thailand, opposite to Laos. It's on the Mekong River. And that's why all the food is kind of like a lot of herbs, fresh.
So when Pavitra then started this market stall, she said, I want to do this salad similar to what they do in my hometown. And she said, I want to do this salad. And they do this salad, it's kind of like deconstructed salad. And they take a fish, they use a fish from the Mekong River, and they pack it like in salt, and they cook it on the husks and the straw of the rice, on the rice field. And when you break it open, it's like really moist and has a bit of a smoky flavor to it. And she said, can you do something like this for me? And I said, no, I don't think so. But I said, what I can do is I can do something that we do where I come from, and I can smoke some trout for you. And then she said, okay, let's try that. And it became so popular.
So I came in 2008 because that's a reasonable excuse to leave home in Asia. I would like to study some more somewhere else. And then I just stayed because the weather was so nice. And then I decided I just really wanted to keep eating. And I thought this is a nice reason to go study chefing.
I just want to say a very big thank you to all of you for making this possible, because this is truly a journey.
Some guy, please remind me next time when you invite me to this chef table, make sure remind me to bring a jacket. So we can 5 hours menu and enjoy the conversation and have durian for dessert.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so
very much.
This has been a real eye-opener tour. I have discovered that in Australia, we can all find our identity while celebrating our differences. Yen can't wait to cook. What an incredible journey this has been, exploring Sydney's immigrant communities.